She is perhaps Hitler's best-known victim. Her book has sold more than 25 million copies and has been translated into at least 55 languages. She has become a symbol of the 10 million souls murdered by the Nazis, Jews and non-Jews, and in particular the 1.5 million innocent children. She was just 15 when she died, a miserable and lonely death in a concentration camp in Germany, yet she is remembered for her faith in humanity. This is the story of the life and legacy of Anna Frank. In Amsterdam, some of the remnants of a once thriving Jewish community. Every person in this congregation, like Jews throughout Europe, has a story of their own, of persecution, murder, fear or betrayal. Even the rabbi spent the first 2 years of his life in hiding, sheltered by a Christian family. But one girl reaches beyond all those memories. Hers is not just a Holocaust story, for the voice of Anna Frank stands as a warning to all those who would discriminate on the basis of colour, culture or creed. Her message is as fresh today as it was 50 years ago.
Onbekommerd om wat er rond hen gebeurde, hokten ze in de donkere stegen van de ghetto's der Poolse steden.
The notorious Nazi propaganda film, The Eternal Jew.
Deze twijfelachtige gestalten van het ghetto.
Distorted images portraying an Aryan nightmare of the Jewish threat to European civilization. And this, the family Frank, prosperous, cultivated, sophisticated, and integrated. In fact, they were a German family, German to the core, the antithesis of ghetto Jews. Anna's father, Otto, even served as an officer in the German army in the First World War. The family had lived in and around the German city of Frankfurt for generations, but Otto had travelled the world, even working in Macy's department store in New York, where a college friend, Nathan Strauss, was the owner's son. In 1925, the 36-year-old Otto married Edith Hollander, a 25-year-old Jewish girl from the German town of Aachen, near the Dutch border. They honeymooned in Italy. Their first daughter, Margot, followed 9 months later, and their second, Anneliese, better known as Anna, in June 1929. It was a good life in Frankfurt in those early years. One could almost forget the long shadow of National Socialism. But beneath the idyllic surface, far removed from the children's world, turmoil. The landlord of their apartment turned out to be a Nazi Party member, and in March 1931, they moved. The bank owned by the family also had serious problems, resulting in its complete collapse in the spring of 1933, caused by Otto's brother being the victim of a fraud and the worldwide effects of the Depression, particularly acute in Germany. And of course, the threat of the gathering storm. On the streets, at the rallies, and finally, in January 1933, the ballot box. For it is often forgotten that Hitler gained power in a democratic election. For the Franks, the German dream was over. Some of the family had already moved to Switzerland, but Otto chose to try his luck in Holland, where he had prior business connections. In autumn 1933, the family settled here in Merwedeplein, a modern housing development in South Amsterdam. They quickly established a settled and full existence amongst other